You're most likely to get this as the first question is introduce yourself. A good way to do is to have a connect because you don't get a second chance to create the first impression. Interview is all about creating the impact. To create impact, there are two things, what to answer and how to answer. So the first element that you need to take care is the structuring, because when you have a structure, there is a flow. So probably you can start with introducing yourself in the way about your name, where are you from, what has been your educational background. Then immediately there needs to be a linkage to that, why you chose this particular domain. Then you need to explain what triggered your interest. Probably you have done a project in your final year and that triggered your interest in, let's say, web development or an Android development. Then what have you done to pick up that skill? Then you can move into a little more on your hobbies and leisure interest, while it is good and if you're comfortable. And especially if you're interacting on the HR side, it's good to talk about your family. While it is not mandatory, but it is recommended because it helps you to establish the connect. What is it the duration should be? There is no specifically laid down duration, but anywhere around 1 to 2 minutes is a good time. Now, typically we speak 2 words per second. So around 150 words is what you need to prepare for. So that would be a good approach, that you prepare for around 150 words and practice the delivery once or twice, record yourself and see how the flow is. And that's the way you need to go about. Okay, let me introduce, let's say I'm a student in Masai school and I would like to introduce myself. Hi there, I'm Rakesh from Ranchi. I've done my BTech in computer science from Biju Patnaik University. When I was in college, in the final year, I did my placement, wherein which I got a bit of an exposure to web development, and I said that I need to deep dive into it. And that's where I came across Masai School, which offered me a 6 months program, and I learned a full stack web development out there. Talking about my family, my father is a locomotive pilot, my mother is a homemaker, and my brother works in a bank. As far as my hobbies and leisure interests are, I love playing cricket. And I captained my college team and we won the Inter-College Award. And in my free time, I like to paint. That's about me and look forward to interact with you. Let me tell you, there is a secret formula called 5P. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. So you know this question is going to come, so you need to prepare. So at the preparation stage, you need to do a little deep dive about the company, about the domain, and about there are so many ways you can know about the company, right? It could be in Quora, it could be in Glassdoor, it could be on various social media platforms. You need to come up with the actual reason why you want to work for this company. That's extremely important, and you can talk about the tech stack that they are working, the tech team that is out there, or the domain itself is very exciting. Like a lot of people come to me and say that I want to work in edtech. I want to work in a place where I can create impact. So it's not just the domain, but also the why behind it. Why are you excited to work for my company is a good opportunity to create impact. And if you're able to do that based on facts and preparation, that can be really helpful. This question is bound to come where people would like to see how you are different from others. Because if you look at it, friends, on the resume, most of the resume look the same, right? So that is why the interviews are done. Please remember, there are 2 aspects while hiring for a job. One is eligibility, the other one is suitability. While resume might show eligibility, only during the interview process, they figure out the suitability for the job. Now, this question when they come up, why you are suitable for this job, it is important that to showcase what is it that you can bring to the table. It could be your project experience, it could be consistent academic background record that you have had, the extracurricular activities that you have done, how actively that you are participating in certain platforms like HackerRank or Stack Overflow, and plus what are the softer elements that you can bring to the table, like a team player, collaborative projects that you have built, or it could be your comfort in handling ambiguity, or it could be you are a person who can handle stress. All these softer elements that can't be put on the resume, right? If you can able to showcase this, I think company would be very keen to look at you differently from the others in the market. So it is a good opportunity. You should actually state why. What are the 2-3 things that you are different from others in the market? See, I'm sure all of us have certain dreams and ambitions in place, and many things will come to a fruition as you go along the journey. But having said that, you must have some kind of let's say, a short-term goal and a medium-term goal and a long-term goal. So the one way to put it across is you can say that in the next 2 years, I want to build my capability in whatever field I am. And maybe in the next 2-3 years, I would like to lead a team. And maybe in the next 3-5 years, probably I want to be a project lead. So probably you can say that while I can look forward for the next 5 years, but in the long run, I just need to decide. So it depends from individual to individual. But if you're very clear that you want to, let's say 10 years down the line, you want to do a startup, you can say so. So it's very important to say what it is. See, one thing which companies look forward is clarity and the commitment to the role that you are going to do. I think all of us look at interview as an interrogation, right? Where the interviewer asking question to us and I'm supposed to answer. But in fact, it is an interaction. Just imagine that you are having an interaction with your friend. It would be normally what? He asks question, you answer, you ask question, he answers, right? So there is a conversation. And typically when there is a conversation, the relationship builds or a rapport gets built. So always go with 3 or 5 questions ready. But you must be cognizant. You ask tech-related question to the technical person if he's interviewing, HR-related question to the HR person. Please don't ask tech question to a HR person and vice versa, because it could be a little more intimidating. Few things that you can ask a tech question. It could be, what is the tech stack that you're working for? When was the last product release that was happened? What kind of new technologies that you want to implement in the organization? If you had an opportunity to interact with the HR person, you can ask, what is the work from home policy looks like? What kind of developmental plan that HR follows in this organization? Something which is very neutral. Don't be too specific. Something which can be asked at this stage. And if you happen to meet a founder, like many of you might do in a startup companies, I think questions like, what is the problem statement that you are solving? What is the vision for this organization in the next 2 to 5 years? Where do you see the tech team going from here to there? Ask broad questions, because founders would be interested in answering those kind of questions. So as they say, different strokes for different folks. So prepare tech-related question, HR-related question, and leadership question. Have 2-3 of them, that's good enough. You may expect this at some time during the interview process, where the interviewer is likely to know how much of depth that you have gone in the interested. So the most important element is read the JD thoroughly. Spend time in the preparation phase knowing about the company business model, especially if it is a startup. It could be early stage or a Series A or a Series B startup. Try to understand the model. What are they trying to solve? How is the revenue model is all about? And when you know about this model and come, the message that you are sending is, you are a person who's prepared. There is something very interesting. A research was done. What is one thing that most of the interviewers get annoyed with? 1, you have not read the JD. 2, you don't know anything about the company. So if you are coming to an interview without knowing the job description and about the company, it sends the wrong message. So spend some time in preparing phase, knowing about the company, their business model, what is the traction that they have achieved over the years, what kind of pivots that they have done. All these will help you in having good interaction.